Good morning, Miami Dolphins fans. This is Mike from DolphinsTalk.com. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday so far. It's about 10:38 in the morning. Just want to jump on here. Hello, Randy. How are you? Just want to jump on here and do my weekly pregame spot here to preview the Chargers versus the Miami Dolphins, 4:05 Eastern later today. And it should be an interesting game. Obviously, the big story, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, the head-to-head matchup. I think the media is making too much out of this. I think fans are making too much out of this. It's honestly, to me, not that big a deal. Both of these young quarterbacks are very good. They're both going to go on and have terrific NFL careers. And whatever team today wins and whatever team loses, it doesn't mean anything in the long-term picture of both these young quarterbacks. So if the Chargers win, that means Tua Tagovailoa stinks. If the Miami Dolphins wins, that means Justin Herbert stinks. I don't think so. Nobody with an IQ over 3 actually believes that. Sure, it's interesting. It's a nice little underlying storyline to sort of follow with this game this afternoon. But really, I think a lot's being made out of it, and it's a whole lot of nothing. But overall, in this game for the Miami Dolphins, Kyle Van Noy will play, but the Miami Dolphins will be without Christian Wilkins. They're going to be without they're going to be without Matt Breida. They're going to be without Preston Williams. They're going to be without Myles Gaskin. Those are some big guys not to have in the lineup for the Miami Dolphins. They will have Antonio Callaway. A couple things. He was promoted from the practice squad to the active roster. That's step one. The two things we don't know. Number one, just because you're on the active roster don't mean you're going to be active for the game. Will he be active for the actual game? That's number one. Number two, if he is active, how much will he actually play? So I think with Callaway, we're all excited. I think the news that he was called up from the practice squad to the main roster is a sign he'll probably be active for the game. So I think that's the case. Will he actually play, and how much will he play? Who the heck knows? Nobody knows. We're hoping it's a lot because, as I've been saying on our website and as I've been saying on the podcast all week, the Miami Dolphins wide receiver situation right now is, not very good. And it is alarming. I mean, I've been trying to ring the alarm bells all week saying, guys, they got a major issue there when Jakeem Grant, your number 2 wide receiver. That's not good, okay? I mean, that's not good at all. And someone like Callaway, who's a proven NFL wide receiver, mind you, he hasn't played in a real game in a year. But at least we know what's there. He's got some experience. He's got, obviously, potential coming out the yin-yang. He's that good. That would help. It would help offset the loss of Preston Williams. I think this Miami Dolphins offense, we're going to see a few things in this game. Not only today versus Chargers, but moving forward, because when you're weak at wide receiver, which they are, they're weak at wide receiver. There's no positive way to spin that. When you're weak at wide receiver, well, what do? You get more tight ends involved. You throw to the running backs more. And I think we're going to see that type of offense. Less big passes down the field, which we saw with Preston Williams, once or twice a game all season. That's going to go away unless Antonio Callaway can regain the form instantly that he had with the Cleveland Browns. That's not going to be there. I think we're going to see a shorter passing game. I think we're going to see a lot of RPOs. I think we're going to see the tight ends heavily involved in this passing game. And, that might mean some longer drives, some 9, 10, 11 play drives where they slowly just take a line from Hinkstram to slowly matriculate the ball down the field. And I think we're going to see that from this Miami Dolphins offense. From Nathan, do we have any update on Williams' prognosis? Yes, the Miami Herald, they reported Saturday night, most likely out for the season. He will not be back this year. It's not 100% confirmed, but all the initial reports is Preston Williams will not be rejoining the Miami Dolphins this year. So, not good there. But overall, with this, and the other thing to watch here with this Miami Dolphins offense is the running game. Jordan Howard's just not getting the job done. I'm not going to pile on. He's just not very good right now. And obviously, Myles Gaskin is out for at least this game and one more game. Matt Breida, from all reports, he's not playing. He won't play this afternoon. He might be okay next week. That's even up in the air. So, it does come down to guys like DeAndre Washington, who's only been in Miami a couple weeks, and Salvin Ahmed, who, look, here's the thing with him. Once again, fans always get excited to see a new face. And yes, he looked okay last week. The key word is okay. Okay. He wasn't sensational. He wasn't awful. He was just a guy. And a question from Randy, will we see Washington with any significant snaps today? We might. We might, just because out of necessity. If Jordan Howard, who will probably get the first crack again at running back, if he, looks like the same Jordan Howard we've seen all year, they're going to have to do something. I mean, they're going to have to give other guys opportunities. And honestly, they're only down to 2 healthy bodies after Howard. And Ahmed, who, he's okay. He's not great, not awful. He's there. And Washington should get an opportunity now. Hopefully he's learned enough of the offense where he can send him out there for a few plays and he'll be okay. So the running game is a big issue. The wide receiver depth is a big issue. And that's right now, if you look at this entire Miami Dolphins roster, those are the only 2 issues they have. Really, on the other side of the ball, they've been sensational on defense. Even without Christian Wilkins, I think they'll be okay. I mean, yes, it's a loss. I don't think it's the end of the world. The linebackers are all going to be healthy out there. The secondary's all intact. And, guys like Agba and Shaq Lawson have been playing out of their mind recently. So I think they'll be okay, even without Wilkins on that side of the ball. It's a loss, but it's not a fatal loss. On offense, they've had fatal losses. When you lose Myles Gaskin, Preston Williams, those are losses. Everyone likes to say the phrase next man up. I always laugh. Next man up isn't always the case. Sometimes you don't have a next man up. At wide receiver right now for the Dolphins, they don't have a next man up. You can put a guy out there, but you're putting a guy out there like, Malcolm Perry, who's learned to play wide receiver for 6-7 weeks. He's not a real wide receiver. Same thing with Lynn Bowden Jr., not a real wide receiver. He's still learning. So, and then you got youngsters like, Kirk Merritt, he wasn't drafted for a reason. So fans just suspect, just throw these guys out there and you're not going to miss a beat. No, you will miss, many beats. You might not even be playing the same song as the band. So it does come down to which one of the guys that they put out there can step up, grab that brass ring, and make the most of an opportunity, and you hope for the best, but you can't count on it. And I think at wide receiver right now, whoever steps up, and it's a golden opportunity for a lot of these guys, a lot of guys who, who were buried on the Miami Dolphins depth chart at the start of the year, now have an opportunity to actually play in a meaningful game, a big game. But we'll see what goes on there on offense. With the Chargers, they're without their top pass rusher in Boza. We're going to see our old friend Kalen Ballage today at running back. He plays for the Chargers. They're a solid team. Their record, well, let me check their record. I think it's 2-6. Is it? Yes, they are 2-6. Their record does not indicate the kind of team they are. They have lost almost every game by 7 points or less, and they've had some heartbreaking losses. This is not a game. Let me put it this way. I'd be very surprised if the Miami Dolphins blew out the Los Angeles Chargers, because the Chargers don't get blown out. They are in every game. Even the games they've lost against some very good teams like the Chiefs and the Raiders, they're there. They're in it with them right to the last whistle. And, Justin Herbert, Justin Herbert's played out of his mind this year. Absolutely out of his mind. He's a very good young quarterback, strong arm. I think the challenge for Herbert is he probably hasn't faced a secondary like Miami's. And, I think if he tries to test that secondary as a rookie, he might get challenged. He might be in for a rude awakening. But overall, Herbert's been great. Their wide receivers are great. Running backs right now, and their offensive line, they have a couple offensive linemen who are expected to miss the game. They're going to play. So their offensive line's pretty much intact. Question from Randy. Do you feel this is a game where Flores can make Herbert look like a rookie? I hope. That's the goal. Have our head coach come up with a game plan, try to, hide some coverages, try to trick the rookie, try to confuse him. I got to be honest, so far with Herbert, he hasn't looked like a rookie. He just hasn't. And, we're not going to be the first team to try and take that approach, and Herbert beats it every week. So I don't know if you're going to be able to try and make him look like a rookie, because he hasn't looked like a rookie at all. He's been absolutely fantastic for the Chargers. They have a bright future right now with him at quarterback. So I'm sure that's the game plan for Josh Boyer and Brian Flores. But so far this year, it really hasn't worked for any team. So we'll see. I think I saw the weather's not going to be an issue. Should be a beautiful day. 4 p.m. start. I think it's going to be a packed house. Now, a packed house 2020 version is only 13,000 fans. I think they'll be close to 13,000 fans if they don't hit the number exactly. I think it's going to be a packed house. Nice weather. Shouldn't be an issue. And I think for the Dolphins, it does come down to, A, keep the young quarterback on his feet, and B, don't turn it over. If Tua Tagovailoa, is not under pressure, not getting sacked, and if he's not turning it over, they can win this game very easily. And, that I think last time I checked, they're 2.5-point favorites. But again, everyone who's just looking at the Chargers' record, don't do that. That record, they could very easily have the same record as the Miami Dolphins or a better record than the Dolphins, because literally every game they lose comes down to one play. And they just haven't gotten the breaks yet, which kind of scares me because that makes me think, well, they're due. They're due to catch a break, and hopefully it's not against us. And with the Dolphins, I don't know. Randy, what's your starting offensive line prediction? I think from the sounds of it, if I had to guess, and I don't know, no inside information, just a guess, sounds like Jesse Davis is moving to right guard and Solomon Kinley is moving to the bench. Sounds like they're not, it's not that they're not pleased with Solomon Kinley, just seems like his lack of mobility is hurting this offense. So they want to be more flexible in that offensive line. So I think Hunt at right tackle, Jesse Davis at right guard, Ted Karras at center, then obviously Eric Flowers and Austin Jackson at left tackle. So I think Solomon Kinley might be the odd man out. But again, they might also rotate guys in and out, all depending on what they want to do. Obviously, if it's a 4th and 1, you might want to get a Solomon Kinley in there to, move some men. But overall, I think that's the way it will be the majority of the game. I think Solomon Kinley will be the odd man out. But again, who knows? I'm not there every day of practice. I can't say for certain. But from things I heard this week in the press conferences and from some of the things I've been reading, and some other people who have sources inside the building, they've been saying Jesse Davis at right guard seems to be where they want to go, at least right now. This is a thing that's going to change week to week, obviously, and who knows what it means long term, but at least for this week, and that's all the NFL is, folks. It's a week-to-week game. What you do this week might not be what you do next week. And for this week, I think Jesse Davis at right guard is the way they go. Overall, though, I think if you're the Dolphins, you want to, they're on this winning streak here. And the one thing that's worked for them, I think you don't want to get away from, which is pressure on defense, get after the quarterback, cause some havoc, cause some turnovers. And on offense, limit your mistakes and convert when you get in the red zone. That's why, people can talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick, out their wazoo. At the end of the day, the main reason he was benched was he didn't convert in the red zone. And last week, Tua Tagovailoa in the red zone, 3 for 3. If he goes 2 for 3, the Dolphins lose to Arizona. He went 3 for 3, and that's why they won. And that's why a big part of the reason why the switch was made. It wasn't because it's an audition. It wasn't because there was, pressure. There was pressure from the owner or any of that stuff. No, it's because Ryan Fitzpatrick wasn't getting the job done, and they had to make a switch here. So we'll see. Overall, if I had to pick this game, I believe the Miami Dolphins win by 3 or 4 points. I could see 24-20, 23-20, something like that. I think it's going to be that type of game. I heard some people say they think this game's going to be a shootout. I don't think the Miami Dolphins have the firepower on offense to be in a shootout with anybody right now. They just don't have weapons. They don't have skill position players outside of Parker and Mike Gesicki. They just have no other skill position players. That puts fear in an opponent. Let's be honest. That's what this league is. Having skill position players that will keep coordinators of the opponent up at night. And Miami Dolphins don't have that right now in offense. So I don't see this game being a shootout. In fact, I see it being a low-scoring game. I think each team will play tight to the vest with their young quarterback. And I think Miami ekes one out at home. Let's hope I'm right. Let's always hope I'm right when it comes to that. But overall, that's how I see this game playing out this week. We have a ton of new content up at the website, DolphinsTalk.com. We got the PreGame Show hosted by Tom Ernest. Check that out before 4 p.m. And see you get his thoughts as he runs down the entire game, gives you his thoughts. One part of it, though, is incorrect as he talks about the running back, Matt Breida. That was recorded before the news broke that he's out. So just ignore that part because as we know for sure, he will not play today. So check out the PreGame Show. We have a ton of new articles up. We have the article up on how the Miami Dolphins brought in 2 wide receivers for workouts on Saturday, and they might look to sign one or both. If you want to know who they are, go to DolphinsTalk.com And I will, and it's all there in the article on which wide receivers the Miami Dolphins brought in, and they gave a workout to, and who they might be signing. Also, I mean, just so many articles. Follow us on Twitter at Dolphins Talk there, and you can tweet with me in game, get my real-time reaction as the game goes on. We, as long as everyone's nice and civil, we interact. Everyone's got to calm down during the game. I know everyone gets ramped up and super excited. So a ton of new stuff up on the website, DolphinsTalk.com. Check that out. And overall, I hope everyone has a great Sunday, and we'll talk to you again after a while.